and you've been trying to get us out of permanent wars since the day you went to Washington, D.C. Barack Obama ran on getting us out of Afghanistan and Iraq and getting us out of the wars. Donald Trump ran on getting us out of Afghanistan and Iraq, but it doesn't ever seem to happen. Why can't we get this done?
Military-industrial complex is very powerful. The deep state runs things, but Obama actually campaigned on the issue, yeah, Iraq's a bad war, but Afghanistan is the good war. So he promised that he would be involved there, and he was only trying to win over some of our people because he and Hillary were terrible on Syria and Libya, and even though his rhetoric would be the same. No, I think Trump probably would be a better non-interventionist, but he's not going to be a fighter if it comes down to self-destructing. You know, it's the power of the deep state,
yeah.
and they are very powerful. And I sometimes think, well, you know, when I'm not happy with Trump, he's doing this anyway, why doesn't he just bring the troops home? Why is he going to send them to Poland? I think that's a dangerous thing to do.
Yeah.
And I will say to myself, he probably has had the least amount of body bags than any president in the last 20 years or so. You know, they're being killed, but we don't have. That's a pretty gross way of measuring things, but it does tell us a little bit. I think he wants to avoid the conflict, but he's also willing to use the CIA and do that and violate the methods. I think in some way. I've never talked about this, but somebody would have to research to laugh at me or something. But I think his foreign policy is a little bit like Eisenhower's foreign policy. And Eisenhower's the one that says, the military-industrial complex. But Eisenhower was terrible. You know, what was the first thing he did? He used the CIA for the overthrow of the Iranian government, and he did that. But anytime there was an emergency, in Europe, where the Russians, the Soviets were moving, he never sent troops in. I remember in '76, I thought there was the Suez Crisis. The British and the French were trying to save the canal, and a big thing, they're going to be talking to Eisenhower. They're going to come down here and help us out. And it's '76 wasn't that many years from the Korean War. I thought, I'm going to be drafted. But in about 2 days it was over. Eisenhower said, forget it. So I think of him like a Trump,
yeah.
But he's not afraid of, because he was a strong endorser of the Dulles brothers, and the Dulles brothers weren't exactly libertarian. They were very authoritarian, and there's a lot of shenanigans going on, especially Allen Dulles. Yeah. I don't know where you stand on that, but I think he was not a good person.
Yeah, well, my knee-jerk reaction to almost any politician is probably wasn't a good person, but present company accepted, of course.